holding the webinar today on customizing your form and how it looks on the website. As you know, when you go to a form, the default form just blends in with your background. The information is pretty static. You cannot change the size of the font or the font appearance to match the rest of your website. With our form field editor, you can actually go through in there and change the appearance of the form and how it looks. So to go ahead and do that, you double click on your form module. Oh, sorry. Okay, go to More Settings, and then you're going to click Choose Form Style. Okay, in here is where you can alter how the form looks. So I'll describe each section here shortly before we go ahead and do the values. Your form background color allows you to fill in the entire area of the form with a different color. So if you want it to stand out from your site's background. Your form font type is for your site normally defaults. You may have a font of Verdana or Georgia, but the form always shows that Arial at specific size. Here's where you can change the form font type. The font size, you can make it bigger or smaller by entering in a point value. If you would like to add a border around your form, you can select it. It defaults to transparent, and you can control the width of the border. Each form has a section where you can control the section by selecting a color, and you can add a border around your selection as well. And then here's where you control the border width. The header is what you named your form. You can decide whether you want to show that or not. And a lot of times we do use that for if you name your form like a Contact Us form and then your page at the top has Contact Us, you can turn that on or off. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to run through and select some of these different styles just so you can see how it looks. And again, this is what the form looks like initially, so when we make the changes, we'll be able to see the differences. So the form background color, I'm just going to go in and you select the color. Let's just do a nice light cream color. The form font type, let's say our form type was going to be Georgia, Verdana, or whatever. You can just simply type in the name of the font, whether it be Arial, Verdana, Georgia, just type it in. And the font size you can control just by typing in the number followed by the words PT. PT stands for point. If you just do the number, it's still going to default at the original size, so make sure you add the PT afterwards. And let's say we want to add a little black border around the form. So we select the color, and in order for it to show, you have to actually put a width of it. So we're going to put a width of 1. So let's just take a look at how that looks right now. I'm going to go to the next step. And then you hit Submit. So now if we go to our live site and refresh, here you'll now see that it has a border around, and here's the form background color that we selected. And you'll see the form font size, font type changed to Georgia as opposed to Arial on the site, and the size is much larger than the rest of the site, and that's because we chose the 14 point. I go back into here. And we go back into settings. And again, you can come back in and change. So if you thought that maybe the font size is too large, you can change it. For the form sections, the sections are the area that you created. Like in this case, we created a section called Personal Information. So the section is just going to be this area here. So let's say we're going to make that a different color. Let's make that a orangish color. And then you can add a border around your section. You'll notice that when you make the change, it's going to show you the color you chose here on the text, so that way you know at a glance what it was. Here we made the border color black, so it shows black. If we want to change, make this border a green, for example, you click OK, and then it'll show green here. And again, to make the border show, you have to choose a width value. And then the header display, again, on our live site, this is what the header is, the name of the form. So if we don't want that to show, you just come back in here and click Hide. And the form text color as well. So the text defaults to this blackish gray, but if you wanted to make the text different from the rest of the text on your site, you just come in here and do the same thing. Let's make this a purplish color. And you hit Next Step. Hit Submit. So now if I refresh the page, here you'll see the changes. I know it's kind of harder to see, but you'll see the form title went away. So, and then the section color is now orange. You'll see how the section doesn't encompass the entire form is now orange, and then there's a light green border around, and then you'll see that the text size is now purple. So if you ever want to go back, you can go back and modify any of these colors at any time. You could turn them off by simply just changing back to transparent, and that'll return them to the original size. And you can just put this back to Arial or leave it blank, and it'll return it to the initial form. So let's go ahead and revert it back. And there's our form back, and obviously I left the border on there for the one. So that's how to modify the form styles for your form. Any questions?